So you're a line supervisor, you have a staff of people that you manage for a 12-hour shift. In addition to that, you're in charge of training, and you also work the room for both police and fire calls. We're having to interrogate callers now, not only on their own personal health, but everyone else's health in the home, which from a law enforcement perspective is outside of what we're normally trained to do. We're more concerned with, the safety of our officers as far as life and safety, as far as weapons involved. And now we're having to kind of rethink, kind of unlearn the job that we've known how to do for years and start asking people about fevers and coughs and things like that. A lot of things are being handled over the phone now. So we're asking further questions of people from the initial call. That we're asking people to come outside. We're not going into people's homes. Even in certain situations where maybe we would have tried to reach out to people a little bit further. Now we're kind of de-escalating things as much as possible and not trying to make face-to-face contact with people. The workstations aren't quite 6 feet apart for the most part. So, and based upon the technology that we have and the way the room's configured, there's not a way to separate people further. So that wasn't an option. So what they have done is, though, they secured the doors. So unless it's essential for someone to come into our comm center, people aren't coming in. So whereas before we'd have further or more people coming in and more close contact with our staff, they're dropping things off and leaving them outside in a basket for us. More sanitation as far as making sure everyone's cleaning down their workstations several times throughout the shift, before and after shifts, things of that nature. Correct, so basically taking everything you already knew and just applying it more on a daily basis, sometimes 3-4 times a shift as far as sanitizing. There have been people that have self-quarantined, precautionary. There have been people that have had incidents of exposure with either spouses or other people in their households. We have a lot of people that their spouses also work in emergency services, hospital environments, things of that nature. So we've had a few of our staff members quarantine out of risk of exposure, but no one within our comm center has been positive. I think the stories that have kind of stood out the most, there's been a few cases where people are now intentionally threatening people, as whether they're coughing on them, sneezing on them, or saying that they have COVID, and taking it more as an assault type situation. And so that's been an interesting or difficult situation to deal with, because you just don't know what people are actually, if that's in fact the case, and so it creates a lot of pandemonium. So the public sector is losing revenue based upon all of these closures, with loss of retail taxes and basically tourism, just the population being out in general, spending money as they normally would. What I've heard so far about the city of Vallejo specifically is that there's a $13 million now deficit that they're looking at. And how are they going to keep a flat budget in order to kind of recover from what's happened right now and what's continuing to happen with the shelter in home, shelter in place mandated by the state. Been in constant contact with JV and Local 1245 about any questions that have come up during this COVID-19.